Hello children, good morning. Today I am here to explain a very important topic, reflex action. What is reflex action? It is an automatic, quick, immediate, involuntary action in the body brought about a stimulus. Few example I am going to explain. If some particles fall into your eye and there is immediate flushing of tears to wash out the particles. Instant withdrawal of hands. When accidentally touches a hot iron, there is muscular movement. Shivering when there is too cold. Dilating of eye pupil to look in the dark and vice versa. So, there are two kinds of reflexes. One is natural and another one is conditioned reflexes. Natural reflexes, its example, blinking, coughing, sneezing, salivation, swallowing, peristalsis. Natural reflexes is one in which no previous experience of or learning is required. These reflexes are inborn, and the conditioned reflexes in which the reflexes developed during lifetime due to experience learning. For example, what you experience simply at the sight or by the smell of a familiar tasty food resulting in watering, that is salivation of the mouth. This means that if you have not eaten that food earlier, the response would not occur. A conditioned reflex is an involuntary, spontaneous, autonomic response brought about due to previous learned experience. Here I am going to explain Pavlov experiment on dog. It is a classical experiment, classical example given by the Pavlov. This famous Russian biologist noted that under normal conditions, no animal will secrete saliva in response of the ringing of a bell or to any other sound. But when a bell was repeatedly sounded stimulus simultaneously with the presentation of body during an adequate period of training, the dogs salivated at the sound of the bell even when there was no food at that time. In other words, a stimulus which previously had no relation with the organism's salivary response now elicits a response in that gland. Some common reflexes, natural or inborn reflexes, that is knee jerk, closing of eyelids when an object suddenly approaches the eye, withdrawal of hand or any part of the body when suddenly pricked, peristaltic reflexes, chyme, food is propelled through a small intestine by peristaltic wave, coughing reflexes, sneezing when any irritant enters in the nose. These are the various natural reflexes. And the conditioned reflexes, seeing the teachers entering the classroom, you stand up, conditioned reflexes. Playing on musical instrument, using keys of the keyboard while working on the computer, giving a hand signal, applying brakes, these all are the conditioned reflexes. Now, I am here to explain a simple reflex of withdrawal of hand on touching a hot iron, or simplified scheme of the same simple reflex I am explaining with this diagram. Just see here the receptor, suppose you have touched a hot iron what will happen? The sensory neuron will carry messages to spinal cord, and when the message reaches to spinal cord, here associated neuron will also present, and associated neuron carry that message to motor nerve, and motor nerve with the help of spinal cord carry messages to effector, and the effector will do the muscular work to remove the receptor from hot iron. This is the process of a reflex arc. In the spinal cord, as you know, white matter is outside, which contain axon, and gray matter is inside, that contains cell bodies of the neuron, that we have already discussed in the previous session. Now, what happened in this reflex arc, nervous pathway of reflexes, that I am going to explain. What happened in this reflex arc? First stimulus, as I told you here in the case of hot iron, first stimulus, then receptor. Stimulus is hot iron, receptor our finger. Then through sensory neuron the message reaches to brain or spinal cord, and through motor neuron the message come to effector, and there is immediate response, and this pathway is called reflex arc. So a reflex arc is the shortest route that can be taken by an impulse from a receptor to an effector. So by this we come to the end of the reflex section. All reflexes are involuntary, that you have to keep in your mind, and certain voluntary actions by consciously repeating them with specific stimuli can become involuntary, and such actions are called conditioned reflexes. Up to here you have to revise it. Thank you.